In the air to right, and he did it again!
Welcome back to the Lefties 2 broadcast, and we are here once again with another building our perfect lineup. The very first two, we went with power, right? Power contact. No surprise there. And then we went with power arm. A little surprise there with, just the lack of actual strong arms that could be in the best possible scenario. So the idea is, what team can we create here with a bunch of these scrubs? These aren't them. We're going to put them together here in a moment. But first, we need to get back to the math because that's where we're going. Back to the math. All right. Building the perfect lineup. Here we go. Contact, speed, contact. What do you want more? Let's check it out. Nia, let's go and back to class again. If you're the first time here, we've got to break this down again. Go check out the other videos on power contact and power throwing. But as of right now, 21 pitchers, 13 catchers, 436 infield groups, 326 outfield groups times 24 infield orders times 6 outfield orders, 362,000 times 362,880 batting orders. Get you this crazy number, 2 quintillion, 184 quadrillion, 810 trillion, 27 billion, 79 million, 680,000 possible lineups. Man, next month it's going to go up because there's going to be another player. But here it is. We're going to use the math. Again, if you're new, it's my formula. I created it. I challenge anybody to go make your own formula to kind of figure out what's the best possible lineup for particular types of lineups. All right. Okay. So we've got a player score. Take the contact times A plus power times B plus C times speed plus throwing times D plus fielding times E. Okay. So again, the A, B, C, D, E, they're weights based off of what you like. Again, that very first video you guys saw, offense, power and contact were both 0.3, speed 0.2, and then throwing and fielding both 0.1. All right. Well, that's more of a balanced one, as you can see in the bottom. We're not doing that one yet. The one we are doing today, as we all know, is contact speed. 0.35 on contact. Power, not as important at 0.15. Speed, 0.30. Throwing and fielding, once again, not important in this scenario. 0.10. So, again, contact, speed. Shitaro is going to be our pitcher. But in the future, we will be doing best pitchers videos based off of certain criteria. Right, here's an example of a few. We're not doing them today, so don't worry about it. Don't worry, guys. Once again, I did the math. And here it is, just for reminder's sake, contact times 0.35 plus power 0.15 plus speed times 0.30 plus throwing times 0.1 plus fielding times 0.1. Okay, so the math has been calculated. Now we got to figure out who is the best at each position, and I can explain why we came up with that. Besides math, that really helps. But there are some scenarios that do help. So first of all, we're going to start off with catchers, and once again, in a high game of contact speed, right? Fielding not matter, power doesn't matter. Ricky, again, the 199.9 is if he's in the 10th, 11th, 12th inning, right? But if you have him in that 9th inning, 211.6 with the boosted, 18 boosted. And again, if you're just watching this, this is as if the players are level 14 completely maxed. We could do this at any level, doesn't really matter. We can definitely do it. I mean, technically, rare start at 3 and epic start at 6 and legendary start at 9. So we can do that if you have mismatched, right? But just as of right now, the best players, if they're all maxed on the equal plane, Rose, as she is, solid option if you want that speed contact catcher. And again, the best part about the catchers is that 5 right there in the different categories. Jessica is a solid catcher in general, and she helps out the pitcher. Rose helps out the pitcher, similar to Jessica. And specifically, if you're using Maria, in this scenario. It'd be really great because you get that extra, pitch, the changeup. And Angelina, of course, solid. Barry, kind of surprise here. And, Nia. So again, contact speed is the main goal here, but you look at there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nia helps out the pitchers, of course, with extra spin. Angelina helps out all of, I think I spelled her name wrong. That's great. And helps out all the batters. And Jessica, of course, and Rose both help out the pitchers. So that helps out quite a bit in that scenario. So we're going to go with Ricky in this one just for, the maximum possible. Infield, top 10. We all need the top 4 here. Okay, who is it this time? Power is taken out. But let's take a look. Way is high up with that max. He is terrible when it comes to power, fielding, and throwing, right? So all of his juice is in that speed and contact. So he is the top player in this, followed by Gina, which is great. A lot of people already use her. And the two surprises here, maybe not, Martina. And the better part about Martina is the fact that, with foul balls, she does get increased power. And Mickey spelled his name wrong. Also, great job by me. He at 203.65, he, maxed out. He has solid power already and that contact and that surprising kind of decent speed. So that really helps out here. And he has that kind of awesome little, jump that kind of comes into play every so often. Um, Another couple things you look at Kaya. So Kaya sitting there at this is one of those things where you can kind of flip out. But again, contact, power, speed. If you get that 33% chance or contact boost, she's better than Mickey. So she might be worth putting in there anyways. And then Harden, of course, here with that speed contact, solid option at third base, especially if you don't have Mickey or Martina maxed out. The epics are pretty solid. And then you can go down to Smith, where his contact and speed is pretty good, even as a common. And then, of course, Robinson is a dangerous player in this game. So you look at some of the infielders that we have with the power, they're not really there. Gibson still there because he still is just damn good, right? Willie, man, Willie's a Wade killer. Especially if you use Nia and throw him that pitch, he can get that power to 255. But again, Andre and Tua, just right outside. Their power and their contact are so high that it still gets them there, even with some not so great speed, especially with Tua for sure. Um, Going to the next group, Wilson again did the math on that a couple times. The speed's so low, and again, power's not a big factor here. And the bottom one, Barbara, of course, when it comes to offense, straight trash. And you look at the funny thing is the two players I use in my infield is Jack and Durant. And when it comes to contact speed, they are definitely not there. Jack does move up actually, he moves up not at all. Right. He stay even with the extra juice and speed at leadoff, he doesn't move up quite a bit. So, you know, not really in there for that purpose. All right. So let's keep it moving. Outfield, top 3, Annie Alexander Wren. And the fact that Wren's in there is a big ups here. Annie is by far ridiculous in this category. Wasn't a surprise. Alexander, though, he is solid. For a common player, that ability to have that solid speed, solid contact, he's great in the leadoff spot, especially if he gets on base and gets tagged. You can steal some bases. Like, you can steal runs with this dude. And then look at number 5, everybody. Hammer is such a good player. Like, his speed at maxed out is 199. And it's just, you know, Hammer is the best player in this game, in my opinion. His fielding, who cares? I mean, we're going to do a fielding video pretty soon. We did a throwing one. He was still with the starting outfielder, and his throwing is not that great. So that was power throwing. So we could do other things too. But Neville up there too. King. But just looking at this top 10, Ruth is up there and Chris with their speed. So that's a pretty good balance. And the Ruth has pretty decent contact as well. So and so does Chris, actually. So they're not a bad top 10. 11 through 20, getting a little bit different there where, you got some commons again. I mean, the best part about top 10 is even got Morgan in there, and you can put her further in the lineup and her power goes up. So again, this is not a power video, so we didn't really kind of calculate that. 11, 10, 11, and 12, not really important. But kind of surprised. And then the bottom, not a surprise at all. Christine, not a lot of contact, good power, good speed. Ryan, Ramajo, Johnson, Clemens. Johnson, I had to put in a couple times. Johnson's an all-around solid outfielder. Good power, good contact, good throwing. Speed's not there, but Johnson's so low in this. I did that so many times. Joe hasn't beat with Joe's, speed, which is kind of crazy to think about. All right, so that's the outfield. Now, let's put them in. Remember, Taro is going to be here just because, again, we're doing contact speed better than every pitcher. I think J-Ho actually has more power than he does. But J-Ho is not a good pitcher at all. So where are we putting him at? Ricky again. Again, you can, if you want to go with Rose or Jessica here, by all means, but we're just going with the numbers as they are. Gina at first base, this one's toughy. You could put her, she's lefty, so it's why I put her at first over third. First or third, you can't lose with either one, and she's really helpful either way. Second base, Way. Again, his defense, fielding terrible. So making a shorter throw to first, if you got it, it's the best option here for me. Mickey in the hot corner, having that awesome leap doesn't happen so often, but when it does, pretty cool. And Martina at shortstop, again, typically she would be a first baseman or first base lady. I guess you can call it that. But, again, we're going for the numbers here. And Ren out there in left field, followed by Annie. A lot of people have Annie in center field anyways. The top lineups do. Followed by Alexander in right. So not a lot of good defense. Again, like I said, overall, we're not really looking at defense, looking at speed. So this is a speed and it has a little bit of power too. You'd be surprised kind of with the power that it does supply in this. Let's check out the batting order. Gina is leading off. No surprise there with her high contact, um, high speed. We got to get Ricky in there because what's the point? You take, again, if you're worried about going to the 10th and you're batting around, put in Rose, put in Jessica. You're not gonna lose. You're not gonna miss out in this one. And Shitaro got the power, got the contact, got the speed for the pitcher. That's a solid option for number 3. And cleanup hole, Mickey. Again, Mickey has pretty solid. I think it's 199 at 14 with his power. So it's going with his 232 contact speed, pretty decent. So he's your cleanup hitter. Now we're kind of coming back around. Ren, about a 186, I think, at level 14 power. Again, if you really wanted to get crazy and take out Alexander, put in Ray to kind of boost them up as the sisters, go for it, right? Martina, batting her 6th. So again, she has that ability to have that late power with those foul balls. So her high contact, high speed, but potential power is up there as well. Followed by Annie, kind of start the bottom here again with the quickness. Again, you can mix out Annie versus Gina. You're not going to lose anything there. They're both high contact, high speed. Um, Same thing with Alexander. We got a lot of leadoff hitters in this game. So and again, Way. So the idea here is that we have this ability to really play with your lineup, a lot of leadoff hitters. So, no surprise there. So let's go back to our lineup and kind of show you guys in real time kind of some of the stats they might have. Okay, so as we can see, here is the lineup as it is, right? Nice and in living color, so we can take a kind of a quick little sneak peek. Again, 216 contact at 14, 232 speed, just overall solid. Again, with Annie 228, 232. So we kind of put them in any kind of situation you want. 232, 222 speed with the contact. I have her at 11. So I would definitely want to play this lineup, but it doesn't really work out too well. 232, 212. Again, the power comes in right here, 199, like I mentioned. Contact 232, speed 189. So that's kind of sneaky, right? And 225 contact, and then powered 173. Not great, but 219 speed. But again, with each foul ball, if you get a couple, really helps out, boost that power. Um, And like I said, with Ricky, man, extra contact speed in the ninth inning, that's that's ridiculous, right? At contact 236 in the ninth inning. Is that how that works? 234. That's terrible math by me. And then 212 at 14. Add that to. Yeah, it's ridiculous how high he is in that ninth inning at this type of lineup. Right? Again, it's Taro, offense, right? 212 and speed 192, right? It's none of the pitchers are like that. Power again, 202. So it's this guy's just his offensive weapon, and he can pitch. It's ridiculous, like a cheat code. But there it is. So tell me what you guys think about the speed contact lineup. Do you agree, disagree? I mean, again, it's math. It's not my opinion. Um, just the way it is. All right. Again, thank you guys for watching on the Lefties 2 broadcast. See you next time.